Inside this medieval city gate, you'll find a hidden café, Munich's most unusual comedy museum, and the final stop of my new breakfast tour. I'm sitting here in the Isartor, the Turmstüberl Tower Café in the old city gate of Munich, and here is also the Valentin-Karlstadt-Musäum. Karl Valentin and Liesl Karlstadt, they were comedians in the early 1920s, very famous. I will show you what the museum is all about, but I have a special offer for you. You can book only directly with me. You can book a breakfast tour here in Munich with me, a special breakfast tour with the Munich Weisswurst. If you're vegetarian or vegan, there will be alternatives for that. So enjoy the video, and all the information about the special tour you will find in the description. The Isartor was completed in the 14th century and for a long time served as the eastern gate into the fortified city of Munich. At the beginning of the 19th century, the old city walls were demolished. Only 3 of Munich's medieval city gates survive today: the Karlstor, the Sendinger Tor, and of course the Isartor. Of the 3, the Isartor is the most completely preserved, as it still has its central rear tower. However, the gate has changed considerably over the centuries. It was repeatedly adapted to the military and architectural needs of the time. At the end of the 19th century, its passageways were enlarged to make room for trams and increasing traffic. The Isartor was badly damaged during the Second World War, but was later reconstructed. On the main facade you can see a mural showing the triumphal procession of Emperor Ludwig the Bavarian. It was created during the restoration of the gate in the 1830s. And if you take a closer look at the clock on the western side, you will quickly notice that something is not quite right. It actually runs backwards. It is said to remind us that the clocks tick a little differently here in Munich. But above all, it is a tribute to Karl Valentin and Liesl Karlstadt, whose museum is located inside the Isartor. Karl Valentin may not be very well known outside Germany today, but his absurd humor and his experiments with language helped shape modern European theatre. Bertolt Brecht said that Valentin was one of the artists he learned the most from, and when Samuel Beckett visited Munich in 1937, he also went to see Valentin perform. So before there was Waiting for Godot, and before Brecht became one of the most influential playwrights of the 20th century, there was this very unusual comedian from Munich. Karl Valentin began performing in Munich before the First World War. His most successful period came during the 1920s and 1930s, when he and Liesl Karlstadt became one of Germany's best-known comedian duos. But Karl Valentin did not create his most famous work alone. His stage partner was Liesl Karlstadt, born Elisabeth Velano. They first performed together in 1911 and continued their partnership, with some interruptions, for more than 3 decades. Valentin was tall, thin and constantly confused by language, rules and everyday life. Karlstadt often played the more practical character, trying to bring order in his chaotic world. But she was much more than merely his assistant. She helped develop their sketches, played a wide variety of male and female characters, and was essential to the rhythm and success of their comedy. Much of the humor begins with a perfectly ordinary sentence and then slowly collapses because Valentin takes every word far too literally. A quick word from the sponsor of this video, Giesswein. As a tour guide, I spent many hours walking through Munich, so comfortable shoes are extremely important to me. I wear Giesswein shoes both on my tours and while filming videos like this one. You can use my discount code Munich20 for 20% off. You'll find the link in the description below, and now let's continue exploring the Isartor. The museum offers an insight into the lives and work of Karl Valentin and Liesl Karlstadt. The films are also screened here, and throughout the museum you will come across absurd objects, visual jokes and puns. From the museum you can walk along the old city wall to the northern tower. Along the way, a small exhibition uses historical images to tell parts of Munich's history, while the tower itself contains 2 additional exhibition rooms. One of them is dedicated to Munich folk singers. This popular entertainment culture developed in the poorer districts of the city. Folk singers performed in taverns and small venues for working-class audiences, including laborers and craftsmen. Karl Valentin himself emerged from this tradition. The other room is used for temporary exhibitions. When I visited, it featured an installation by the artists Miriam Frank and Philipp Lear, entitled Stardust and the Seafloor. And that explains why visitors were greeted by this rather imposing astronaut with angel wings. In the South Tower on the top floor you'll find the Turmstüberl Café. It actually feels like an extension of the museum, with quirky objects and elaborate decorations everywhere you look. The ladies' toilet is also located up here, and because I visited before opening time, I was even allowed to take a quick look inside, despite being a man. Its ceiling was designed by the artist Anna McCarthy and has become known as Anna's Sistine Chapel. But back to the cafe. Here you can enjoy delicious cakes and coffee, but also Weisswurst, Munich's most traditional breakfast dish, served with a pretzel and, if you like, a wheat beer. I know the landlady Bernadette quite well, so we put our heads together and came up with the idea of offering a completely exclusive tour, one that you can only book directly with me. In the morning we'll explore Munich together in a 2-hour city tour. Afterwards I'll join you here at the Turmstüberl for around half an hour, where we'll enjoy a traditional Munich Weisswurst breakfast. Vegetarian and vegan alternatives are, of course, also available. And afterwards you can explore the museum at your own pace. So if you fancy an authentic Munich experience in a truly unique setting, you'll find a link with all the details in the description below. Of course, I also offer many other private tours in and around Munich. Just take a look at my website or send me an email if there's something in particular you would like to explore. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Philip.